For decades, Dwight Yoakam carried the reputation of a man who simply did not bend. He survived rejection, financial hardship, industry politics, and personal setbacks with the same steady grit that defined his music. Fans came to see him as indestructible, a honky-tonk rebel who kept moving forward no matter what life placed in his path. Recently, however, observers have noticed a quieter, more reflective side emerging. Appearances have become less frequent, interviews more thoughtful, and his public tone gentler than before. Rather than signaling defeat, this shift feels like maturity meeting time, a seasoned artist choosing balance over burnout. Longtime followers sense that he is entering a different chapter, one shaped less by urgency and more by intention. The change has not erased his strength. It has simply revealed the human being beneath the legend. Roots in Kentucky and the road north. Dwight Yoakam's story begins in Pikeville, Kentucky, a place where working-class realities and Appalachian culture shaped his earliest memories. Economic uncertainty and the steady migration of families seeking opportunity defined his childhood environment. When his family eventually moved to Columbus, Ohio, the transition left a lasting emotional imprint. Leaving behind familiar landscapes created a quiet longing that later surfaced in the melancholy undercurrent of his songwriting. Music became a refuge, not just entertainment, but identity. The guitar his father once set aside became Dwight's constant companion, a tool for expression when words felt insufficient. Growing up between two worlds, the memory of Kentucky and the practicality of Ohio gave him a dual perspective that would later enrich his lyrics. The highway between past and future became more than geography. It became the emotional road he would sing about for decades. Finding voice through music and performance. As a teenager, Yoakam immersed himself in both music and acting, discovering early that performance could move people emotionally. High school theatre roles challenged him to express vulnerability, while local bands allowed him to test his musical instincts in front of live audiences. He studied classic country voices on the radio with almost scholarly dedication, absorbing their phrasing, storytelling, and emotional honesty. This blend of stage discipline and musical devotion helped him understand that authenticity mattered more than polish. Even then, he seemed restless, always searching for the sound that truly felt like his own. College proved less compelling, and he eventually chose experience over academics, stepping away to pursue music seriously. It was not a reckless leap, but a quiet commitment to purpose. The decision marked the beginning of a journey defined by persistence rather than shortcuts or instant success. Nashville rejection and a different door. When Yoakam first arrived in Nashville, he encountered an industry focused on smooth production and commercial appeal. His raw, Bakersfield-inspired style did not fit neatly into prevailing trends, and early responses were discouraging. Instead of reshaping himself to match expectations, he chose a different route. Moving to Los Angeles exposed him to eclectic audiences who valued sincerity over genre boundaries. In small clubs and unconventional venues, he found listeners willing to embrace his blend of country tradition and rebellious energy. This unexpected acceptance allowed him to refine his identity rather than dilute it. What began as survival gradually turned into momentum. The environment encouraged experimentation and confidence, proving that rejection in one place could become opportunity in another. The experience strengthened his resolve and taught him a lesson that would guide his entire career. Authenticity often finds its audience, even if the path is indirect. The breakthrough and cultural impact. Yoakam's early recordings gained traction through grassroots enthusiasm, eventually catching the attention of major labels. When his music reached wider audiences, it felt less like a manufactured debut and more like a long-earned arrival. His style revived classic country influences while injecting modern attitude, creating a sound both nostalgic and fresh. Music videos expanded his reach beyond traditional country channels, introducing him to new generations and diverse listeners. Success did not come overnight, but when it did, it carried the weight of years spent honing his craft. Critics recognized the emotional clarity in his voice, and fans responded to the honesty in his lyrics. Rather than following trends, he helped reshape them, reminding the industry that tradition could coexist with innovation. The breakthrough established him not only as a performer, but as a cultural bridge between eras of country music. The cost of momentum. With rising recognition came relentless touring, recording schedules, and the pressure to maintain visibility. Like many artists, Yoakam faced the challenge of balancing creative passion with personal well-being. Long hours and constant travel gradually took a toll, even as audiences saw only the confident figure on stage. Songs from this period often carried undertones of loneliness and reflection, hinting at the emotional complexity behind the spotlight. Success brought opportunities, yet it also demanded sacrifice. Time away from loved ones, limited privacy, and the expectation to continually outperform past achievements. Despite these pressures, he maintained professionalism and dedication to his craft. The experience deepened his artistry, but also introduced the realization that endurance requires more than determination alone. Over time, the drive that fueled his rise began to evolve into a desire for sustainability and personal balance. Exploring acting and creative risks. Yoakam's move into acting revealed another dimension of his talent. Film roles allowed him to step outside his musical persona and explore characters far removed from his stage identity. Audiences discovered a performer capable of intensity, nuance, and transformation. Creative risks extended beyond acting into film production and writing, areas that demanded financial and emotional investment. Not every project achieved commercial success, yet these ventures reflected his willingness to challenge himself rather than remain confined to a single lane. The lessons learned during this period were significant. Resilience in the face of disappointment, humility after setbacks, and renewed appreciation for collaboration. Even when outcomes were difficult, they contributed to his growth as an artist. The willingness to explore unfamiliar territory demonstrated that his creativity was driven by curiosity, not merely by the pursuit of safe victories. Changing industry and personal priorities. As musical trends shifted, Yoakam's presence in mainstream charts fluctuated, yet his influence remained evident among peers and emerging artists. Rather than chasing popularity, he focused on projects that felt personally meaningful. This period highlighted an important transition from striving for dominance to valuing longevity. He continued recording, performing selectively, and engaging with loyal audiences who appreciated his consistency. Public appearances became less frequent, not from retreat but from a conscious recalibration of priorities. Industry recognition no longer defined his sense of achievement. Artistic integrity did. Observers noticed a calmer demeanor, suggesting that experience had replaced urgency. The quieter pace allowed room for reflection and personal fulfillment, reinforcing the idea that careers are not only measured by peaks of fame, but by the steadiness of purpose over time. Family life and a new center of gravity. In later years, Yoakam found deeper grounding through family life, an area he intentionally kept private. Becoming a husband and father introduced a different rhythm to his world, one that balanced professional identity with personal joy. Those close to him often describe this chapter as transformative, bringing warmth and perspective that fame alone could not provide. The focus shifted from constant motion to meaningful presence, from chasing milestones to appreciating moments. Protecting loved ones from public scrutiny became a priority, reflecting his long-standing respect for boundaries. This period did not diminish his artistic drive, rather it gave it context and emotional depth. Fans who followed his journey sensed a softer tone in both interviews and songwriting, suggesting that fulfillment at home had become as important as applause on stage. Legacy, reflection, and the road ahead. Today, discussions about Dwight Yoakam often center on legacy rather than headlines. His contributions to country music, from revitalizing traditional sounds to influencing new generations, remained firmly established. Observers may speculate about future appearances or creative projects, yet the most meaningful measure of his career lies in the music that continues to resonate. Time has introduced reflection, not retreat. The man once known for relentless motion now embodies seasoned perspective, showing that strength can include slowing down as much as pushing forward. Whatever direction his next chapter takes, his place in musical history is secure. Songs endure beyond rumors and trends, carrying emotion across decades. In that sense, his story is less about uncertainty and more about continuity, the lasting echo of a voice that helped shape the sound and spirit of modern country music.